Hi everyone, and welcome back to my investment journey with me, Thomas James. So this week I wanted to try out a brand new style of video, so I'd really appreciate any thoughts and feedback you have on it. Do you prefer this style or do you prefer the previous older style? As we've just entered into November, I wanted to give a full update as to how things progressed throughout the past month. Firstly then, we'll take a look at the overall value of my portfolio and how this has changed over the past 10 months. In my previous video, I talked about my desire to have no single industry accounting for more than 10% of my portfolio, so we'll also take a look at that. Next then, I'll discuss what new purchases I have made for my portfolio throughout October. We'll then look at any star performers throughout the month. One of my holdings in particular had a great month, so I'll provide more details on that. Towards the end of the video, we'll review my latest dividend payments. And finally then, I'll give a quick update as to how the channel is progressing as a whole. Okay then, let's bring in a graph to show the growth of my portfolio since the beginning of the year. As you can see, it started off at a very modest level of just £781 back in January. However, it's grown every single month since. June to July was a particularly big increase due to quite a number of new investments that I made at the time. If we take a look at the top here in the past month, so my portfolio value has increased from £18,019 at the beginning of October to £19,854 at the beginning of November. That is an increase of £1,835, which can be split into £1,524 worth of new purchases that I've made and £311 of growth, which simply accounts for any holdings growing in value, but it also includes any reinvested dividend payments that I have received. As I discussed in my previous video and mentioned again at the beginning of this video, I want to reach a point where no single industry accounts for more than 10% of my overall portfolio. So let's take a look at how things currently stand. So 27% is made up from consumer staples, 25% is consumer discretionary, 23% is financial institutions, 18% is energy, which is the big oil companies that I've got, Shell and BP. 5% is technology, 1% is healthcare, and then the final 1% is telecommunications, which in my case is Vodafone. So I'll put this all together into a single pie chart, which might be easier to visualize. So you can see here that there are still a number of areas which are above the 10% target threshold. So with my future investments, I will be working to try and bring these down, as I believe getting below 10% will help to minimize any risk or exposure to one particular industry in the future. Okay, so let's move on and take a look at the new purchases that I made throughout October to further increase the overall value of my portfolio. Firstly then, I added £100 to my Artemis High Income Fund. Secondly, I added £100 to my Fundsmith Equity Fund. Likewise, I added £100 to my Legal & General US Index Fund, £100 to my Linsdale Train Global Equity Fund, and £100 to my Royal London Sterling Extra Yield Bond Fund. In terms of shares that I purchased £1,024 worth into Unilever, which equates to 21 shares. Unilever is well known for being a solid dividend payer. The yield is relatively low, below 3%, but they tend to increase year on year, and the company as a whole is doing very well, so I thought it would be a wise investment for the future. Now I want to look at my star performer, which is really just a case of highlighting which holding in my portfolio has increased the most over the past month. So for the month of October, this has been IAG. If you're not familiar with them, they are the owner of the likes of Aer Lingus and British Airways, which are two of Europe's biggest airlines. So here's a graph showing the increase in share price over the last month, which results in an increase of 11.6%. So hopefully heading in the right direction for the longer term. The past month wasn't just good for IAG, it was also good for my other holdings as well. Here's a summary as to how each holding is currently sitting. So William Hill is still leading the way, up 16% so far. IAG's in there at second. However, GSK, Aviva and WPP are all now in positive territory. Some have slipped back, however. You'll see at the very bottom here, the likes of Vodafone, Kainos and Imperial Brands are still down around 20 to 30%. However, I'm still confident these will head in the right direction within the next couple of months. In the right hand column then, I have also included the yields that each of these holdings is currently paying out. So again, quite a range here. However, you can see that the average for my portfolio is 5.8%, which I think is a very good return overall. Next then, we will look at the dividend payments that I have been receiving from my portfolio. So you can see back in the first quarter of the year, it was very low. However, as we moved into the second quarter, things started to pick up pace dramatically. June and July in particular were very good months. Things eased back a little bit in August. September was good with a return of £100, which is my monthly target. October just passed is still relatively low at £14, and that came from three different payments. So GSK and Kainos paid out, along with my Artemis High Income Fund. I expect November and December to both be very good months and be around the £100 mark. So the monthly average so far for this year is £43.50. Okay, finally then, just to give you a quick update on the channel. So this is the growth that I've seen in the number of subscribers. So starting off with just 3 at the end of August when the channel started, 126 in September, and we've now reached 217. So that's an increase of 91 new subscribers in the past month. So thank you very much to everyone who subscribed. Your support is great. And as always, I would really appreciate any feedback that you have on the video today. Well, that's it, everyone. My update complete. So thank you very much for watching. As always, please hit the like button and show some support. If you haven't done so already, please also subscribe to the channel. I'll leave 2 other videos here that I think may be of interest, so please go ahead and check them out. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon.